Hey yogis, hope this video finds you well. I wanted to tell you about something really cool I came across last week. There's an Ayurvedic doctor in Chicago who I really like. She posts lots of really amazing, interesting things on social media. Her name is Monica Yearwood. You can look her up. And she brought to my attention some new science that totally relates to yoga. It's so cool. Being the yoga geek that I am, anytime there's science kind of supporting what we already know as yogis, it's pretty cool. So there's a woman named Amy Cuddy, who I believe is a business school teacher and researcher. And they did some controlled research on something she's calling the power position. Look it up, Google her, Amy Cuddy, power position. I won't tell you all the details of the study. If you look that video up, I think it was a TED Talk, it's only about 20 minutes and she explains the science. But basically what it is it relates to mountain pose in yoga, to Tadasana. But she's of course not talking about it, in relationship to yoga. But what she's describing is essentially Tadasana. So these researchers wanted to find out how to increase confidence. And one thing that they already knew is people that are confident and people that are leaders have been shown to have higher levels of testosterone and lower levels of cortisol. And this is for men and women. And that makes sense because if you're in a leadership position, it requires confidence and it requires the ability to be in charge and take control and be self-aware and not stressed, right? To be able to manage stress, because often in a leadership role, stressful situations come up. So testosterone was higher in people that are confident and people that are leaders, and cortisol, the stress hormone, lower. So they did this study, this controlled study, and they were measuring people in a position like this or some sort of stance that was strong and confident. And she showed a photo of Wonder Woman with her arms up and her legs turned slightly out. But it's basically akin to the yogi's Tadasana, mountain pose, where you're standing strong, the chest is open and balanced, and the arms are out to the sides facing forward. And long story short is how we carry ourselves affects our hormones. Literally, there's a chemical response. So they studied people who had no idea, what they were being studied for, and they put them in the power pose for 2 minutes, and they took a saliva sample prior to the power pose and afterwards, and they found 2 minutes of holding a shape like this or this or this did the exact thing they thought, which was increase testosterone and lower cortisol. And conversely, postures like this or this, where we're closed off, had the opposite effect. Stress went up and testosterone went down. So it's just so cool because for years we've been teaching that Tadasana is like the optimal pose where it's a blueprint for all the other postures, and it's really a pose that balances the system and supports optimal pranic flow. So it's sort of being validated by modern science that people that spend 2 minutes in a position like that, immediately have a hormonal, chemical effect in the body. So next time you're feeling down or low, or you're going into maybe a stressful situation, a job interview, a difficult conversation, anything where you could potentially feel a lot of stress, prior to that event, 2 minutes in a power position. Think mountain pose or arms overhead or in some way, open and strong and confident. So pretty cool. Love it when modern science backs up ancient wisdom. Namaste. Thank you.